السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. ما لم يكن لدينا عقل خال من التوتر ومجتمع خال من العنف لا يمكننا تحقيق السلام العالمي. لعلها فلسفة تسترشد بها جميع برامج منظمة فن العيش التي أسسها عام 1981 المعلم الإنساني والروحي المعروف عالميا بأستاذ المحبة ورسول السلام العالمي غوروديف رافي شنكار، وباتت تنتشر اليوم في أكثر من 156 دولة وولاية. هي واحدة من أكبر المنظمات غير الحكومية NGO الإنسانية والتعليمية القائمة على التطوع في العالم، متنوعة المشارب وتستقطب الناس من جميع مناحي الحياة والتوجهات الدينية. وقد حققت المؤسسة بحسب المتابعين تأثيرا هائلا على المستوى الدولي في مجالات السلام الفردي والمجتمعي وتنمية المرأة والشباب وإعادة تأهيل السجناء، إضافة إلى عدد كبير من المجالات المتنوعة مثل البيئة والزراعة وتنمية المهارات وبناء المجتمع الريفي، وفوائد ممارسة تقنيات سكاي للتنفس والتأمل. يطيب لنا أن نستقبل من العاصمة الهندية نيو دلهي مدير منظمة فن العيش الأستاذ غوتام فيغ، يعرفنا على مؤسسها غوروديف رافي شنكار ويشرح لنا أهدافها ومشاريعها والمبادرات الميدانية، كما يطلعنا على داعميها وإنجازاتها، ولا سيما في عالم ينضح ويضج بالصراعات والحروب والشقاقات والأعمال غير الإنسانية والفساد المستشري والعنصرية المقيتة. وماذا عن الحوادث الدموية في الداخل الهندي ومساعي حلها؟ وما هي منافع تمارين التنفس والتأمل سكاي؟ أهلا بكم إلى حلقة جديدة من الداخل، معكم زينب صفار، تابعونا. غوتام فيغ, Director of the Art of Living Foundation. Welcome to الداخل from the inside.
Thank you for your welcome.
Pure pleasure to have you, sir. Well, my first question to you, غوتام, is living an art? And what is the art of living? Is it an organization or a movement or a way of life or a philosophy?
The art of living is, in the present context, we are an organization which has centers in more than 156 countries. And we are one of the largest non-governmentarian, humanitarian, educational organization. And to answer the first question, yes, it seems more so in the present context that living is an art, because in the present scenario, the current context of COVID and the corona kind of destabilizing the whole the planetary movement, whether it's economics, whether it's tourism, whether it's trade, whether it's politics. So everything has been derailed by this pandemic. Mm-hmm. And people are going through severe depression. Statistics from the World Health Organization and other eminent, preeminent institutes from around the world, they talk of, a large percentage of our population, going into depression. The suicide rates have gone up. The mental health is a huge issue, according to, experts. So yes, we need more kind of art. We need
yes, we
to
do
sail through this pandemic.
Sure, we do need this art of living, because it seems that not so many people across the globe, they master this kind of art, unfortunately. Well, the Art of Living Foundation, غوتام, has made a huge lasting impact in the world in the areas of individual and societal and peace, women and youth development, and a large number of diverse areas like environment, agriculture, skill development, rural community building, and a lot more. Tell us more about the founder, غوروديف Ravi Shankar, known as the Global Ambassador of Peace and the Master of Love.
He is, you've introduced, as you have introduced him, he was born in India in 1956. And his life is about bringing peace. He often says, that when he sees a conflict, he cannot stop. He says, it's human nature when you see a conflict, when you see a fire, for example, if your neighbor's house catches fire, you will not wait for the invitation from the neighbor. You will just jump in to help. So that is his nature. And from Colombia to Venezuela, to so many conflict zones around the world. Currently, we are working in more than 20 conflict zones around the world, from Ivory Coast to, Kosovo. So, and he's such a great inspiration huge inspiration for all of us who, are part of the organization.
Mm-hmm. What distinguishes غوروديف to make him this master of love? What's so unique about غوروديف in this sense?
Unique thing about him is that he doesn't see that if, for example, if there is a conflict, he doesn't put on the glasses of whether, what religion the people are, what caste, what ideology. So he doesn't belong to any one ideology. He just, as an impartial mediator or an impartial peacemaker. So that gives him that unique
attribute.
His way attribute. Yeah.
Now, Sri started the what is known as the 5H program, which is homes, hygiene, health, harmony and diversity, and human values. This he started in 1997 to engineer a socio-economic transformation that will eradicate poverty, misery, disease, and ensure peace and harmony among communities. Where have you implemented this program, the 5H program? Who does the training, غوتام, and how did the people interact with it?
See, this program has been widely implemented in India, large parts of Africa, in South America, and parts of Iraq. We have been working in Iraq since 2003 now, and working very rigorously there in Iraq. Also Sri Lanka, And, the 5H program tries to accomplish something called a model village or a modern town. And, just big houses and beautiful houses and food and material wealth is not enough if there is no harmony in the neighborhood, if there is no peace and love and, human values flourishing in the neighborhood. So all these 5 H's, which you listed out are important for a peaceful and prosperous, whether it's a village or a society or a town. So
but
it's
who
an ongoing work.
Sure. Who does the training, غوتام?
We train them. We train the trainers, and in our campuses in India, in Germany, in South America. So we train the trainers. Sometimes, for example, in Iraq, in the earlier days, from India we used to travel and train the trainers there. Now so now Iraq has its own trainers, so we don't need to travel. So the local native people, in the native language, they become trainers.
Mm-hmm. Now, where are you working on this program recently? Where have you implemented it? Iraq?
See, right now Iraq is an ongoing program. It's a very interesting program. Our Iraq program has two parts. Mm-hmm. Part number one is we address the cycle of aggression. Especially the youth is going through a very difficult time in Iraq. Mm-hmm. So, they're caught up in that cycle of aggression and violence. And so the first part of our program addresses that bit where we break the cycle of aggression, mm-hmm. Using the tanafus, the breathing, mm-hmm. using, team building games, using leadership processes. So that breaks their, gives a lot of healing. The second part of the program is, we train them in a skill, in a job, in something they like, something they want to build their future on. Mm-hmm. So somebody wants to open a mobile repair shop, somebody wants to put a tuk-tuk, somebody wants to open a computer center. So we teach them to write reports, from their CVs to biodatas to business proposals, and then we organize funds for them. Mm-hmm. So the two parts are, in a nutshell, breaking the cycle of aggression and then channelizing that energy into some skill and vocation. So unless we channelize the energy in a skill or vocation, they will go back into the, aggressive.
Sure. We will talk a bit more about that, and we will also discuss the breathing technique, but after the break. فاصل قصير ونعود، لا تذهبوا بعيدا. أهلا بكم من جديد. غوتام Veg, Director of the Art of Living Foundation. Welcome back, sir. Well, one of Gurudev's most unique offerings to the world is the Sudarshan Kriya, a powerful breathing technique that facilitates physical, mental, emotional, and social well-being. Over 100 independent studies conducted on 4 continents and published in peer-reviewed journals have demonstrated a comprehensive range of benefits from practicing Sky breath meditation and its impact on reducing stress to getting better rest. And these techniques have a demonstrated measurable impact on the quality of life. This is very beautiful. Might you, غوتام, demonstrate such performances, please? Let's do an exercise together so that people might understand what's this breathing technique.
You need a certain a setting, so spend a little time to do it. One can learn. It's very easy. But I would like to explain a bit about the Sudarshan Kriya, the breathing, the Sky breathing. See, all our emotions have a corresponding breathing pattern, or our emotions are linked to breath. When we get angry, we breathe very fast. When we are happy and relaxed, we have long and deep breaths. So if we pick up anger, we know we should not get angry. Our elders, our society tells us not to get angry. Our holy books, the message is of peace and not to get angry. But when anger, when it comes to us, we either keep it inside or we express it.
Discharge it. True.
Yeah. So when there's when we keep it inside, our blood pressure goes for a ride, and when we express it, if it's a weaker person, we express it, then we get a little instant relief. But the other person, so how do we dissolve anger, or how do we dissolve say emotions like anxiety about the future, or regrets about the past, or sadness? So all these negative emotions which prevent us to be happy, smile, be at peace.
To enjoy the art of living.
Yeah. So the breathing technique, which is of course a gift from Gurudev, that helps us to master emotions using breath. And it's a very simple pattern. And it's like, we use shampoo to clean our hair, we brush our teeth, there's dental hygiene, there's hygiene for we have a bath every day. But to the mind, very little attention do we pay, or most of us don't pay much attention. So the breathing technique, the breathing which we teach, that gives almost instant results. We have this program in a lot of jails around the world, prisons around the world, and prisoners who are the manifestation of maximum aggression. They do these techniques and they calm down.
Now, you said that we all know that the Art of Living Foundation is one of the NGOs operating in Baghdad today, and observers note that if any country's citizens needed de-stressing, it would be those of Iraq. We all agree on this particular issue. You highlighted some of the projects in Iraq. And what about the citizens in Syria? And more urgently, غوتام, what about the people of Yemen? What are your initiatives in this regard?
We, we have been in touch with the Syrian government. I was there for 3 weeks and exploring how we could help, Syria, Bilad al-Sham. It's the most beautiful area, and unfortunately the whole area is in conflict. So we are still talking to the Syrian government and exploring possible ways of providing, help, especially to the youth, because the youth is going through a very, very difficult time in Syria currently. So something we hope will work out soon.
Right. Now, the Art of Living has designed a myriad of self-development programs in addition to environmental projects, as you talked about, and other humanitarian projects that are substantial but yet costly. How do you fund your programs, غوتام?
We have, for people who can afford, there's a small, fee for the program. Yeah, and for example, but in times of conflict, in times of trauma, in times of
COVID,
tsunamis and floods and COVID, that's not. For example, Beirut saw recently a horrific explosion.
Of the port.
So our team, our teachers and trainers in Beirut, we conducted more than 40 free, trauma relief programs. And, so there are good people who fund it. So there is goodness still, in our society.
You mean philanthropists and donators, people who believe in the Art of Living Foundation. Now, one of the major events, the World Cultural Festival, was a mammoth, gigantic event that easily made it to the Guinness Book of World Records. Tell us more about this paramount event, Mr. Vig.
It was, like you correctly said, it was the largest cultural festivals in the world. And we had 3.75 million people attend the festival, which was spread over 3 days. The stage was to the size of 7 acres, which is equivalent to 6 football fields. And we had more than 36,000 artists, musicians, dancers from all around the world perform, from Russia to Indonesia to Mongolia to Japan, to Pakistan. So dancers and singers and musicians from around the world, 36,000, more than 36,000 of them performed. It was something magical. Yeah,
right.
The whole world could be seen, and India has this a motto is saying the whole world is one family.
Family.
Gurudev also says, the world is one family. So we saw the one world family.
Yes,
there. Yeah.
To stay in India and to talk about the internal domestic issues of India, and where is the Art of Living Foundation, internal societal rifts inside India among faiths and denominations, especially between the ultra-right Hindu extremists and Muslims. Also recently with the passing of the Citizenship Amendment Act, not to forget the vast divisions among castes, have cast a grim, gory scene across India. What are your efforts, sir, in this regard?
Gurudev has been constantly and consistently trying to unite people of various castes, creeds, religions. Recently, with his body of work, and success which he has achieved in India and around the world, the Supreme Court of India appointed him to mediate a 600-year-old conflict between the Hindus and the Muslims, which was over a mosque and a temple. Mm-hmm. So he mediated it, and after huge decades of centuries of conflict, mm-hmm. The Supreme Court of India resolved that. They came out with an order, and so Gurudev is always, whether it's a small issue or a big issue, he's trying to bridge the gap,
mm-hmm. But sir, despite of his peaceful work, no work actually comes without challenges. There are claims that some sections in the media have twisted the remarks of Gurudev over the Ayodhya dispute that you've just talked about, branding him anti-Muslim, while also accusing him of indulging in fear-mongering. So why distorting whatever he was trying to do?
There is, like you already said, there is a fringe element in all religions, in all castes, and all sections of the society. So their career is based on dividing people and dividing So that's simply put. If there is unity amongst different religions in India and around the world, a lot of people, their shops will be shut. So that's the explanation.
Right. Thank you for your thoughts, for your work towards the betterment of the world, for creating a one-world spiritual family across the globe. Yes, your slogan is definitely right. Love and wisdom can prevail over hatred and violence. غوتام, Director of the Art of Living Foundation. Great pleasure to have you always.
Thank you.
والشكر لكم مشاهدينا الكرام على طيب المتابعة. للتفاعل أكثر تابعونا على صفحات السوشيال ميديا، وحتى نلتقي من كل فريق عمل من الداخل من كل الميادين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.